There exists a world where they solved the great questions, where death became optional, where disease was forgotten, where aging simply stopped. They didn't build this paradise through cold technology, through sterile machines and artificial intelligence. No, they built it with marble, with gardens, with flowing water and ancient wisdom. They looked back to Earth's golden age and made it eternal. This is Aethoria, the world where classical beauty never died, where humanity's greatest achievements were perfected and preserved forever. Welcome to the Eternal Gardens. The cities of Aethoria rise like dreams made solid. Imagine the Parthenon, but instead of ruins weathered by time, picture it pristine, glowing, alive. Columns of white marble, 20 stories tall, each one carved with such precision that even light bends around their edges. These aren't cities in the way we understand them. They're symphonies in stone. Every building positioned with mathematical perfection. Every plaza designed to catch the light at sacred moments. Every fountain placed to create harmonies you can feel in your chest. And they float. Not through crude propulsion, not with engines or thrusters. Through mastery of gravity itself. Islands of marble and earth suspended above seas of liquid crystal. Connected by bridges that seem too delicate to exist, yet have stood for 10,000 years. Walk through the capital city, they call it Loom, and you'll see architecture that makes Rome look like a child's sketch. Amphitheaters that seat 1 million souls. Libraries with ceilings that vanish into clouds. Baths fed by waterfalls that fall from the sky itself. But here's what makes it extraordinary. Every surface is alive. Marble colonized by bioluminescent moss. Vines with flowers that bloom in colors we have no names for. Trees growing through temples, their roots gently cradling ancient stones. Nature and civilization, perfectly merged, not conquered, not controlled, partnered. The Aetherians are beautiful, not in an alien way, not strange or unsettling. They look like us, like humanity, perfected. Tall, elegant, skin with a subtle luminescence, as if lit from within, hair that moves like water, even in stillness, eyes that hold lifetimes of wisdom, yet sparkle with joy. They dress in flowing robes, white linen, silk woven from plants we've never seen. Simple, classical, timeless. Watch them walk through their cities. There's no rush, no anxiety. They move like dancers who've rehearsed for centuries. Because they have. They gather in gardens at dawn, meditate beneath ancient trees, discuss philosophy while watching triple sunsets, practice arts that take lifetimes to master, and they have infinite lifetimes. But they're not cold, not detached. They laugh, they love. They create friendships that span millennia. They write poetry, compose music, paint murals that cover entire cliffsides. They achieved immortality without losing what makes life worth living. what it's like. To love someone knowing you'll never lose them to time. To pursue a passion for 10,000 years. To watch civilizations rise and fall, while your garden continues to bloom. Is it paradise? Or is it something more complex? The true heart of Aethoria isn't the cities. It's the gardens, the eternal gardens. The reason they named their world what they did. Imagine a forest where every tree is a work of art, where branches grow in patterns that shouldn't be possible, where flowers bloom in mathematical spirals, where the air itself seems to shimmer with pollen that glows like stardust. These aren't gardens planted yesterday or last year. These gardens have been tended for 10,000 years. Every plant placed intentionally. Every path designed to lead you somewhere meaningful. Walk through the garden of reflections. Paths of white stone wind between pools, so still they're perfect mirrors. Ancient willows trail their branches into water that's been clear for millennia. Lotus flowers the size of tables float lazily, their petals glowing soft blue at dusk. Or a liveling, the hanging gardens of Solara. Terraces carved into a floating mountain, vines cascading down thousands of feet. Flowers that only bloom once per century, and when they do, the entire world stops to watch. There are no worlds that sing, gardens where the wind through specific plants creates harmonies. Gardens that bloom in colors that shift with the seasons of distant stars. Gardens where time itself moves differently. Where you can spend days and return to find only hours have passed. They didn't conquer nature. They elevated it. Made it art, made it eternal. And then there's the sea, the Aethorian Ocean, waters so clear you can see 100 meters down, so pure that drinking it feels like tasting starlight. Classical temples rise from the shallows. White marble columns standing in crystal water. Dolphins, or creatures like them, swim between the pillars, playing, dancing, as if the temples were built for them. The Aethorians don't build harbors or docks. They don't cage the ocean or claim ownership. They honor it. They build underwater gardens, coral shaped into spirals and arches, kelp forests tended like surface groves, fish that have lived for centuries, recognized by name. Dive beneath the surface and you'll find ruins. Not ruins of decay, but ruins by design. Classical architecture deliberately submerged. Temples to forgotten gods. Libraries sealed in crystal, their books preserved forever. Statues resting on the sea floor, arms reaching toward light filtering from above. They say the ocean holds their oldest memories, that if you swim deep enough, you'll hear voices, songs from when they first arrived on this world. Prayers to ancestors who achieved immortality, and warnings about what it costs. But paradise has a shadow. The Aethorians achieved immortality. They perfected their world. They eliminated suffering. And in doing so, they eliminated change. Nothing new is built. Why would it be? The old is already perfect. No one dies, so no one is born. Why would they be? The population is balanced. No conflicts arise. Why would they? Everyone agrees on what matters. Walk through Aethoria and you'll see wonders beyond imagination. But you'll also see stagnation. The same conversations repeated for centuries. The same music composed in the same styles. The same philosophy debated with the same conclusions. They've lived so long that surprise is impossible. They've explored every idea, tasted every experience, felt every emotion 10,000 times. They're eternal, but are they alive? Some say the gardens grow slower now, that flowers hesitate before blooming, that the ocean tides move with less enthusiasm, as if the world itself grows tired of perfection. And in the deepest temples, in the oldest libraries, there are inscriptions, written by the first Aetherians, the ones who chose immortality. And they ask a question that no one can answer. We have everything. Why do we feel empty? This is Aethoria, the world where humanity's greatest dreams came true. They built paradise from marble and gardens. They conquered death and time. They created beauty that will last forever. But forever is longer than we think. And beauty, even perfect beauty, can become a cage. The Aetherians still live in their floating cities, still tend their eternal gardens, still watch their triple sunsets. But sometimes, late at night, when the stars align in patterns they haven't seen in millennia, they wonder, was it worth it? To have everything and lose nothing? To be immortal, but unchanging? To live in paradise, forever? They built a world where nothing ends. Perhaps they should have asked if that's what they really wanted. Would you make the same choice?